Peace. Peace to you all. Peace to the universe. Peace to every atom. We gotta understand that we are everybody and everything. And we gotta understand that we must give gratitude to everything. In order for us to receive these things of gratitude, these things of appreciation, to be valued in everything, we must first value. We must first give value to others. We must first value Mother Nature. We must first even understand how to fucking value this chair, how to value inanimate objects, how to value this fucking tarot deck card, you feel me? Because what you need to understand is the seven hermetic principles first and foremost, because that will get you closer to the understanding of oneness, of unity. Once you understand that, then you will understand that we are ultimately all just one. There is no separation. Separation is but an illusion we have been entrapped in, enslaved in, But this has happened because of our mindset. We have for one, a dualistic mindset. For two, we have a divided mindset. We all believe to belong to this specific group, like the African Americans, the black people thinking they belong over here, white people thinking they belong over here. It's like, even though this might have been settled with, it truly hasn't, because the memory of that still lingers. And what we need to understand is that we are memories. We are just collections of our memories, of our experiences. And this could be past life. It could even be something that has already happened, because most of the time, our life ultimately is something that has already happened. We're just now experiencing it, like in the sense, like, our this present moment now is in a sense a memory. We do have a bit control as to what we do or how we influence this memory, but what we need to understand is that we operate in a sense from different dimensions, and the self within me that's operating, let's say, in the seventh, sixth, or fourth, or fifth dimension. What what they do is gonna influence me. So that's why I say we are, in a sense, like memories, because that's all we can do, all we can depend upon, all we can look upon is our memories, which are our past experiences. And we can't even trust those, because those are subjective as fuck, for one. But for two, you also need to understand that it is possible for you to be fed emotions and memories. So it is possible that some of these memories, some of these ideas that you are grasping onto, these belief systems that you have been indoctrinated under, most of these are things that are not true. They're lies. And the Pisces age in of itself, in a sense, was like fertile soil for the people whom were willing to indoctrinate they started. This was when they started indoctrinating. This was when Christianity came up and all of the other religions came up, and this is when a lot of people started, in a sense, looking away from the truth. A lot of truth was hidden, concealed, and a lot of us just felt ignorant, and we decided to be okay with the ignorant. And because of our programming, we got so comfortable to the point where we were so numb that we can't, or we still can't, so this is why I'm using can't, but we can't and couldn't look around us and see what was going on, because we, like they say, we're comfortable and comfortably numb. Of course, there are still certain people out there that are beginning to realize, that this isn't it, because we are indeed, like, in a sense, I want to say the end days. It's interesting to me, because the way I perceive it is, there are a lot of um people talking about the end times, and there have been a lot of movies coming out that have been themed that. What we need to understand is that Hollywood isn't just making movies. They're not just making movies. It's deeper than that. Like, everything everything they make has some sort of truth in it. Every lie has a truth. Every lie is but a part of every lie is but a part of the truth, and every truth is but a part of a lie, because every lie comes with its truth, and every truth comes with its lie. And I say this, and I guess my foundation for saying that would be the fourth, or is it the fifth? The fifth principle, which would be polarity. This, you can say this is the universal principle, or the hermetic principle. I'm talking on the hermetic principles, but the fifth principle, which is the hermetic, which is the principle of polarity, just states that but all polar opposites are but one and the same thing, because at the end of the day, they're all on the same frequency. So one is vibrating here, let's say, at the frequency of a lie, right? This is a lie, and this is a truth. But they have the ability, to meet in the middle, in a sense. But we don't really know, the middle, like, because in a sense, some lies are some truths to some situations, and some truths are some lies to another situation. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But ultimately, let me put it this way: you can find the truth in a lie, just as you can find the lie in the truth. If someone tells you a lie, you have the ability to find that truth within that lie. It's like the the famous yin and yang symbol. Excuse me, I just like woke up. But yes, it's the famous yin and yang symbol. The yin and yang symbol, it ultimately is telling us that good and bad being separate to a degree are not, or like illusionary, or just the duality of separation between black and white is illusionary, because at the end of the day, the black is the white and the white is the black. Okay, so it's like, it might not be that profound, but you gotta understand that that's what those little dots symbolize. You know how there's black in the white, and the white in the black? That's what it's symbolizing. It's symbolizing that in good there's a little bit of evil, in evil there's a little bit of good. But this is balance, this is harmony, this is necessary, this is needed. Because what you need to understand is that the feminine energy it does hold like that energy of chaos, in a sense, the energy of, well, let me say this: they're definitely both responsible for doing some fuck shit. Like, at the moment, because we are so, I want to say, lost, and there's a lot of stuff going around that we don't even pay attention to. Like, it confuses the fuck out of me. Like, why aren't we paying attention to these things that are happening? Like, for example, the economic system, like just the global economic system, or if the earth is flat, then just the whole economic system. Like, since I brought that subject up, or the earth being flat and all, it's like, I guess we can, being the little ants, it would, like, okay, so this is what I'm getting at. Let's say a fucking ant lives on, fuck it, ants do live on trees, right? So let's say an ant lives on a tree, right? What good is this ant what good is it gonna do this ant to find out the shape of the tree? A lot of ants can perceive the shape of the tree to be this, to be that, to be that, and there might be but there will always be a duality. One person thinks the fucking tree is round, while the other person thinks the tree is flat, right? How original. But ultimately, they're always gonna, in a sense, this only makes separation. This only divides the two. And we think that, you see, whenever you divide, what all you're doing is you're adding fuel to the flame that's already burning. Because it is that we talk about unity, we talk about oneness, we talk about needing to connect, right? Needing to, in a sense, become one to overcome the duality, or the opposer, or the other side. But once we become one, we need to we become to realize, because true unity is unity with all, with everything. This includes even inanimate objects. But people don't even get that. that, okay, so look, if when we die, we transform, that must merely mean that that energy that's being transformed, some of it stays here, you know? And it does, most definitely. Like, just me right now making this video, capturing my essence in this video, yo, this is, you know, this is what they would consider some magic, like some voodoo, or like whatever you want to call it. Like, because with what we don't understand, for one, is that all things magic are but science unexplained, you know? Like the science of planes, of like flying planes and shit. Like, in the past, this would have seemed magic, you know? Like, if a plane out of nowhere just appeared and it's flying in the sky, people would think it to be a magical being, and they would even go as far as to worship it, you know? And in a sense, to a degree, I guess you can say that's how we human beings, that's how naive we would be. Even let's say even if there was a God, I mean, my bad, there is a God, but let's say there was a God the way that it's portrayed, that there is a man upstairs watching us, like not even upstairs, but a man in outer space, man in a cloud. Like, if you guys watch Rick and Morty, God, that shit. You know, it's crazy though. Rick and Morty, it makes me laugh all the time because I I started watching Doctor Who first, and what you need to understand is Rick and Morty is like a remake or a copycat. That's what I like to call it, even though I'm not hating on Rick and Morty because it's amazing. But ultimately, Doctor Who and Rick and Morty, it's the same character. Like, it's based upon the same being, you know. It's based upon the same being. But fuck, I forgot where I was going with this. Where was I going with Doctor Who? Yeah, so Rick and Morty, I meant to say. So, in one of the episodes of Rick and Morty, these beings, they're like big planets, but they're planets, but they have faces. They look, I don't know, they're like, it's a cartoon, so keep in mind. So the faces aren't like intricate and everything. They look like they were fucking aliens, but they were just huge aliens that were able to visit worlds and planets and observe them. And when they were around, you can, if you look up, you can see the fucking you can see them. You know, you can fucking see the big ass heads and shit. And ultimately, some of the people, and you know, this in a sense kind of shows us as well, like how limited we are, in the sense that we would fall for one thing when there's many other things. Like, for example, let's talk about the hierarchy, right? Like, let's say that there is a God upstairs and it is watching us. Like, I don't even like to, we've also been indoctrinated to believe that God is a he, but how but how could that be if, for one, the XY came from the XX chromosome, you know? Like, that's what a lot of us tend to neglect or misunderstand, the fact that we are actually, in a sense, I guess you can say, like the drones in the beehive, just in the sense that we were made, and to a degree, specifically to serve, you know? Like, it is true that the feminine energy is the submissive energy, but you see, the thing about it, for one, is we all, everything, not even just us, but everything in existence has these two polarities, the masculine and the feminine. This is what balance is. This is what the white and the black is. This is what red and blue, all of the dualities, at their root, at their core, at their essence, they are representing the two genders, you know, the masculine and the feminine. And this ain't even like about physical sex or anything. It's about the essence, like the energy. Because what you need to understand is you don't really need to be a man to be masculine. You know, there are some women out there that are masculine as fuck, or the other way around. Like, you don't need to be a woman to be feminine as fuck. Like, there are feminine men out there, you know. But the thing about it is, we are approaching an age where things of balance, in a sense, are going to be easier because certain gates and portals are opening up to us, and we are all differing. I mean, shifting into like different timelines in a sense, so then we can fulfill our journey, I kind of want to say. But you can't really take a horse to water and make it drink, you know. So the energy is here for us, but it's up to us to decide. We get to decide, you know, how we utilize this energy. So for example, I want to say, like, there has most definitely been like an increase in the energy of like love, the energy of love, you know, and like the purest the purest essence or energy. I don't even know if I can say love, but I guess I'll say that. But you know, when love manifests at different fucking levels. You know, the Greeks, they calculated, I think it was 7 forms of love. But for me, just let me just get like practical with it, like not really go in depth, and say what I remember, because I just know this and I agree with it, because you know, most of the time when I learn something, I tend to apply it to my life and, you know, see if it makes sense. But it does, you know. Like, there's the unconditional love, which is shared by mother and mother and child, you know. Then I guess there's more like the tender love, which would be shared by partners, or like this would be like the romantic love, the sexual love. And then there's you know, the love you share with the friend, the love you share with the brother. And all of these loves are like, in a sense, different, you feel me? But of course there is only one form of I wonder if I can say that. Well, I want to say, like, but of course, like, there is like an archetype of love, you know, like what it truly is, like its essence, in a sense. Yeah, in a sense, like those other things that correlate with love can be like love's legs, and maybe this is how love walks. Once the core of love has been activated, then these are other things you're able to do with this energy. So I ultimately believe that, because to me it's evident, like, if rejection is one of the most feared, one of the most based emotion, like root chakra emotion, like most feared emotion, because you know, being rejected as a child, this means, to a degree, death. Like, because if a child is to be rejected by its parents, this could lead to death, you know. But ultimately, rejection just ultimately means like not being accepted, not being welcomed into the door, you know. But yes, this is like one of us human beings, you know, fears, like one of the strongest ones, rejection, because most of us experience that. That's like sometimes it's one of the first emotions we human beings experience, you know, because rejection, well, first you need to understand that energy doesn't die, it always goes somewhere. So the energy you give out, that energy is finding a place to lay, you know, a place to go. Now let's say you are having sex or having intercourse, and then it even depends on how you got there, you know, because what you need to understand is that the parents influence the child before the conception has even happened, or like before the seed germinates the egg. Before that, the parents, they, in a sense, influence the child, you know, in the sense of like, what is the emotional being that they're in, like, you got to understand that our emotions, they reflect to us our vibrations. The emotion you're on indicates the vibration you are in, you know, and it even goes the other way around. The vibration you are in can be indicated by the emotion you are in the sense that, let's say you are in a low vibration, just change your emotion and your vibration will soon follow, because we understand that emotion is like energy and motion, right? Because whenever you get emotional, you tend to do something like, oh, there's always a phase, you know, like, well, whenever you're emotional, you're more open to wanting to do something, and things are more open to be done for you as well. Like, for example, the emotion of happiness, joy, positivity, these are emotions you can utilize to manifest something in your life, you know. But the emotions of anger, sadness, ultimately, emotion is a form of is a tool for us to utilize to manifest. Because even when you're experiencing these negative emotions, you're still manifesting something It might be something you don't want, but you're still manifesting it because that's what you are asking for via your emotions. Like, this is what people don't understand when they're praying. You know, like when we pray and we ask for certain things, but our emotions are reflecting another thing, and we receive this the opposite of what we want. We tend to not understand and then think prayer doesn't work, but in actuality, it is working. But well, prayer is ultimately thinking. Like, to me, that's what it is. You know, like when you pray, you think. But like when most people pray, they give their energy to an external source. By you doing that, you are kind of fucking yourself over because your energy is your everything. You know, and even us going and working at a 9 to 5, in a sense, we are submitting, we are agreeing to the terms. I want to say, like, to a, not even, I don't even want to sugarcoat it. Like, I do think that we are experiencing slavery, if I am to be honest with you. It might be, like, physically speaking, it might seem to be, like, at, like, it's not as intense as it once was, because the slavery has manifested into a mental one, you know, like previously we were indeed enslaved physically, and what you need to under fucking stand is you can't enslave anything until you have enslaved it mentally. Like, you can't enslave me, you can't enslave my physical body unless my mental decides to go with it, you know, unless my mental submits. Like, and it's fucked up how they show us that movie Roots, because what you need to understand is we live, like I was mentioning, we live through our experiences. You know, we live through the memories. So them reminding us of roots, like most people who wouldn't understand would think that this is their roots. Like, it's a deep thing. You know, they probably named it that for a reason, and it's like, it's not like they spend a lot of time in Africa. They jump right into slavery and all of the crazy shit that happened. And it's like, why would they call it roots? What, whose roots is that? Like, who rooted from slavery? Like, that's not where African Americans, black people came from, you know. But that's like one of the things they tend to want people to think. This is a vibration they want you to be at, because this is a low vibration, and this vibration you can victimize yourself. You can, and as long as you're victimizing, as long as you're crying about something, nothing is being fixed, you know, because it's up to you to, get this shit done. Like, no one is to blame, and that is the fucking issue with us today. We are all pointing the finger. We're all looking for someone to blame. But you see, while we are looking for someone to blame, we are pointing the finger, but we're missing the point. We don't realize that we are the ones to blame. Like, once you take responsibility for your life, like I did, then everything fucking starts to change. You know, like, I gotta say, like me, I was shot at 14 years old. And after recovering, like even after I had recovered, I still wasn't able to see. I couldn't even talk or walk or none of that, you know. So I was a Gemini who wasn't able to walk. But it's cool because, I got my mind and I'm constantly thinking shit up, and it's cool, you know. Well, while I'm here talking about me, I do wanna, no, I'll drop that later. I'll drop that later. But like, yeah, once I took responsibility, I realized that I'm the one who's in control of my life. Like, ain't nobody gonna make me do shit, you know. But it's like, when you are in the victimhood, you are already in that energy of being controlled, like someone making you do something, or someone doing something to you, you know. Like, someone can't do something to you unless you allow them, right? Tell it to the damn. I mean, yeah, it is like that, because I was gonna say, there are certain events where you might not have control, like maybe let's say a murder or like a rape or things like this, but ultimately you have to be in a certain vibration to attract that. Sometimes when I'm walking down the street at nighttime, I think certain things, but then I think like, whoa, 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 relax, because I can't be in that vibration unless I choose to be in that vibration, through my thoughts. If I'm to think about, I guess you can say getting robbed or something like this, then I am putting myself in that energy, and that energy is most likely to happen because this, in a sense, is like the energy I'm emitting, the frequency that I am choosing to um, match, like resonate at. You feel me? Because our thoughts, they are things, like people constantly say, and I have experienced this like multiple times, but it's amazing to me. Like, every time, let's say I'm in a negative thought and I manifest something and I realize that I manifested that negative situation, I don't take that as a negative. Like, I don't take it as damn, the universe is trying to be bad to me. Fuck that, you know. I see my power in there, you know. I'd be like, damn, so I can do that. I can manifest that. Okay, well then I won't manifest that next time, but I'll manifest something more desirable, you know. But that's what a lot of us tend to. That's where a lot of us tend to fail. Like maybe your fucking gifts are being shown to you in a means that might not be so pleasant. Like the wrap that the gift is wrapped in is not pleasant, but once you take the time to unwrap the gift and you see what the gift is, you know, like who the fuck knows what I can do just by the shit I've gone through, you know, like the shit you've gone through really does say a lot about you. But a lot of us tend to want to get rid of the shit that we gone through because we don't fucking realize that we all want that cake, but a lot of us are not agreeing to take ownership of the ingredients that made the cake. We're not taking ownership of the shit that's in the cake. You know, I don't even want to go in there because it's, well, it's not a vegan cake, but like we are all like this delicious ass cake, you know, but no one is taking responsibility for the milk that went in there, for the vinegar extract, the eggs, the flour, and all of that. Like alone, that's disgusting, but together, it's amazing. And together, all of the shit we have gone through, all of our flaws, all of the crazy lessons and shit we have gone through, this is what makes us, you know. But a lot of us don't realize that. But once you do realize that, once you do fucking take your power and step into it and be like, fuck everybody, me being unique is what makes me me. Like this is why I'm special, you know. But in this day and age, there is to a degree uniqueness, but like not a lot of it, you know. Even if there are like certain different groups of people expressing certain different things, it's not really it's not really unique, you know, because let's say this group of people, they're all of them are expressing the same thing. All of them are expressing the same thing. Like there's a stereotype for this person and to be a specific way, and they fulfill that role, you know, or this person being that way or that person being that way. And that's just the thing about me, you know. I am so fucking different, and sometimes I do sit back and I think like, holy shit. Well, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that, but because it's stupid, right? Like, because I know I came here for a mission, you know, and this has been confirmed for me. So I know I'm here to do something. So I'm not gonna let any doubts or any fears or anything like that, in a sense, infest me or like um get into my mindset. Doubt is doubt can be our worst enemy because a little bit of doubt can go a long way. If you hold on to that tiny bit of doubt, it'll go a long way. Because you see, most of us don't have fertile fertile soil to grow good thoughts in, but we have the best soil to grow them negative thoughts in. You feel me? So just a little negative thought, because we talk about how in the in the right circumstances, one's positive thoughts will flourish or like sprout, because we think of these thoughts to be seeds, and that's what it is. Whenever you're talking to someone and you're sharing with them a truth, that is what you're doing at a subconscious level. Even if they're not receiving you consciously, even if they are like bringing opposition consciously, at a subconscious level, you are indeed planting a seed and changing their mind, you know. Like, just, we tend to forget that the baby steps are steps as well. We tend to forget that the baby steps take us somewhere, you know. Just because you moving a little bit is better than you not moving at all, you know. This is also what we need to understand, because if we don't, we tend to go blind and become ignorant to the fact that our life is changing, you know. And this is another trap that most people are stuck in, the negative mindset. You know, we talk about the positive mindset, and that's where we should be at. But I do think it is important for us to also study the negative mindset to a degree, because you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you were. And this is a fact. Like, this is why a lot of African American people are lost, if I am to be honest. This is why a lot of African American people don't really know exactly where it is they're going. Like, and not just them, a lot of us, you know, a lot of us are just not really knowing where we're going. We're just tagging along for the fucking ride. Like, nah. Like, I remember when I think it was like 16 years old, and I was just walking. It was like nighttime, and I was walking, right, down the street, and I was just looking around, and I was kind of angered and triggered because I was looking around and I was seeing all of these like buildings, wires, and like fucking poles and shit like that, you know. And I was enraged because I knew that all of the stuff that I was seeing didn't belong there, you know. And I was just like, that's not cool. Like our clothes, you know, like we think clothing is cool, but if I am to be honest, I would be doing much better for myself if I was to expose my nipples, because your nipples, they receive energy, you know, like our whole body receives energy, but since I'm talking about the nipples particularly because they are melanated, you know, and melanin sucks in light, it pulls in light, and it's not by coincidence that your nipples are right here where your chest is. Your nipples are actually connected to your lungs, I want to say, and they do help you. They do feed you oxygen, because what we don't understand is light is oxygen too. The light you see, the sun in front of me. I'm in Arizona, so the sun shines hella bright. But yes, the sun also emits and what's gonna call it? It also emits oxygen. It's actually said that because of our ability to in a sense absorb, I want to say, because we can absorb the sun, we can utilize the sun to survive, you know. Like we're more conducive than fucking plants. Like melanin is chlorophyll, but melanin is a coloring pigmentation, but melanin goes deeper than that. What does melanin in plants do? Melanin in plants is chlorophyll. So what melanin in plants does is it helps to photosynthesize. It helps to pull in that light, that electricity, and make it into chemical energy, you know. And we can do the fucking same thing. And I've experienced this before too, because I have fasted, you know. Um, my longest so far has been 6 days without food, you know. Nothing solid. I ate no food. And it wasn't like I was juicing. I was, in a sense, you can say, on a strict diet of just water, technically. And I was aiming to go 11 fucking days, like 11 days, you know. But I made it to 6 days, and that's me. Like I tend to reach for the stars, I guess you can say. Whenever I shoot something, I reach for the stars, you know. I go high, and then I work as hard as I can to get there. And if I don't get there, I realize maybe I'll get there next time. Well, enough about me, right? But yes, while I was fasting for the 6 days, all I fucking did was fucking sun gaze. Sun gazing is amazing, you know. We human beings don't really understand that, but sun gazing is fucking amazing. We need the fucking sun. We need to expose ourselves to the sun. Like we think nudism is a fucking weird thing, but nah, like wearing clothes is a weird thing. If I am to be honest, because all you're doing by wearing this clothes is getting in the way of your body. But on top of that, who the fuck said that your body is wrong? Who said that your sex organ is dirty, is disgusting? Like that shit is a part of you. Like if this little if you do have a private part, and if you do and if in a sense it is looked down upon and it is shunned upon, then ultimately doesn't that kind of reflect isn't that kind of reflecting the energy that you are to a degree feeding yourself? Because by you shunning one aspect of yourself, you're ultimately shunning the whole aspect, you know. Because so let me tell you a story. Last remember last year when I was going to school, most of the times I wouldn't go to school. I would ditch school and I would like go to the mountains or something. Um, cause I love nature. I just love that. But and God is still, when I think back, I am on some other shit. Like I remember I would go to the fucking mountains, and I guess I don't know if I could call them rituals, but it was ultimately connecting with like spirits. I guess mediumship or some shit like that. But I was connecting with like the energy of the mountain, and I was connecting to Palladians, fucking Native Americans and shit. I mean, not in shit. I do gotta have respect for them, of course. And they were giving me messages and all of this stuff. and I had like my crystals and everything around me, and I was doing all this shit. And when I look back and I think about it and I observe myself, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? No, not like what the fuck am I doing, but that's like some shit that not everyone does. You feel me? I hope you guys get what I mean. Like in a sense, I'm on like my I'm my own other shit. Like I'm running my own program. You know, I'm like fuck the program. This is my program type shit. You know. But back to the mountains. So I was at the mountains, right? And of course, I can easily communicate and connect with Mother Gaia, the mountains, you know, energy and spirits, and I am very indeed intuitive and empathic. So I go up there and I'm just chilling, and I I would choose it over the school because I realized that I learned so much fucking more at the mountains about life than I can from school, you know. But school is another fucking story, you know. It's some shit, man. Yes, I would go up there, and one of the things I learned from the mountains was a lesson about love, like literally, right? So I was up there, and I was, you know, chillaxing. I was like in this cave, and I was chillaxing, and there were these bugs came. These bugs pulled up. At first, there was one, and it kind of looked scary. It was like it was an almond shaped with legs, and it was black and had like orange on it. It was dope as fuck, you know. But I was trying to keep my composure. But I seen that fucking kind of, I kind of got started, you know. And then I seen it, and it was like telling me to get out. It was like, you need to get out. You need to leave. You need to leave. Like you need to get out. And I'm like, what the fuck? You don't tell me what to do. No. That wasn't even it. You know, it was more like I mean, you are the scarier one, so okay. Well, of course, first I did come through with a little bit of opposition or like force. Like I was like, what do you mean get out? Like what the fuck? Hell no. And then it was like you need to. It just kept telling me that I needed to get out, you know. And then I was like, nah. And then it was like one was coming this way, right? And then another one pulled up. And then another one pulled up, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm out! Whoa, chill, chill, chill." And then I was kind of, and then I was on top of the mountain, and I mean, on top of the cave, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was kind of salty, and I would guess I was throwing like a little tantrum fit to the mountain energy, Mother Gaia or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's not right. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, why did that happen? Like, that's just not right. Like, what the fuck? And then you know they pulled up again, and I was kind of startled, and for one, the mountain energy was just telling me I needed to go with the flow and trust, you know, trust that this is what needs to happen. Like me, I did need to get kicked out of the cave by some bugs, you know. Um, and then as I was out there, I see this fucking spider, and this spider, it was walking where I was originally sitting, you know. So I put it together, and I was like, holy shit, they kicked me out because they were trying to protect me from that spider, you know, type shit. Yeah, and I just looked and I'm like, holy shit, like wow, now I see, now I understand. But ultimately, while I was going through that process, another thing I learned was like the mountain was just telling me like I can't love, I can't love the whole, I can't say I am, I guess love like the I want to say not devoted, but like you know like having an energy of like giving love to the mountains, making love with the mountains type shit. Or you know just giving that essence, that energy of love, gratitude without accepting all of it. So she was talking about how I can't really say I love the mountains 80% and then hate them, not hate the mountains but fear the mountains 20%. So she was just talking about how she is everything, the fucking the cactuses, the birds, the bugs, and if I'm to say I love the mountains, I have to love all of her, you know. So I realized that you know I do need to learn to connect with these bugs that scare me, you know. And it's crazy because I made a friend, because now every time I would go up there, those bugs would show up, you know. Those bugs would pull up on me, and I'm just like, wow, man, the world is an amazing place. It's beautiful, man. If we just take a moment to just sit and smile and just think about the beautiful things we can enjoy, you know we will get our moment. Like of course there are bad things as well, and I'm not saying to ignore them. The root word of ignorance is ignore. It, ignorant people are people who ignore the truth, you know. If you are choosing to ignore the truth, you are an ignorant person, you know. Like me, it's a fact that climate change is a fucking scam. It's a hoax. But you guys, I'm not gonna, just say you guys and project this energy to everybody. But most people don't believe it because they have been so indoctrinated into thinking that climate change is a real fucking thing. Like, that this movement started as global cooling. They were saying, oh no, we need to get our shit together. The earth is getting cool. And then they're like, wait, oh no, we need to get our shit together. The earth is getting warm, which was global warming. And now they're like, oh, so this is something that happens naturally. So the earth cools and heats. Like it's a fucking cycle. Like, this is what the earth does. And this is what the earth has been doing for many ages, And there is no fucking, correlation between CO2, carbon dioxide, and the rising of the temperatures of the globe. Like, there have been documented data that show the amount of the temperature with CO2, like what happens when CO2 rises, and there have been documented data that shows that there is no correlation between CO2 and the temperature. There have been times when there was more CO2 in the atmosphere than today, and the temperatures were still fucking low. So this is something we even shouldn't fear. Like, the fact that the Earth is cooling or that Earth is warming, we shouldn't fear these things. We need to understand that these are all natural things that are meant to occur. Like, of course, heat in a sense will represent life, and then cold will represent death. And death preservation, preserve. I can't. Some words I just can't say. And what we humans tend to neglect is the fact that we are but small pieces in a bigger picture. We tend to forget that, the world doesn't resolve around us. I mean, even though we are responsible for a lot of things, we still forget that we're not the only species on this planet. Like, shit happens, and it's not always because of us that it happens, or it's not always because it's trying to kill us or save us. Like a ruthless mother Gaia, she has to think about the good, think about saving the good. Think about what is important. So, with that being said, I do think that she will wipe us out without a second thought if we step out of place. Because this has happened before. There have been floods and like, we think that our thought of civilization and our thought of when it began is, once again, arrogant. It's stupid. It's dumb. Like, we human beings think that we, in a sense, we are the ones that have come from the first human being. I mean, we are, but what I'm saying is, like, we haven't been on this planet for as long as documented time. We've been here previous times, and not even just us, life. Aliens, I want to believe, and I do believe. Aliens, I say aliens because maybe these beings, these humanoids, didn't look like us, but certain humanoids that didn't even look like us lived on this planet. A lot of shit has went down on this planet. There has been times when planet Earth was on some galactic shit. When we were doing shit galactically, like, when we had fucking neighbor planets, neighbor planets and everything and all of that shit. But most of it has been stripped away, and no one is to blame. It is our fault, because what we human beings don't understand is our power. Like, we are very fucking powerful. Like, when people say, I'm just a human being, like, when I'm around someone and they're like, I can't do that, I'm just a human being, I'm like, you're a fucking human being. You're not just a human being. You are a fucking human being. Like, being a human being is not a just thing. Like, we are fucking powerful. We human beings, we hold true power. Like, you gotta think about it. Why would we be under this program of indoctrination, of suppression? Like, what are they trying to suppress? What are they trying to hide? What do they not want us to see? Like, You can't just hide something from something for no apparent reason. Like they're suppressing certain things from us because they know that if we awake to these realizations that we can be unstoppable, and we are, you know. And all of these fucking movies, we think these are just movies, but they're not movies. Superman is a real fucking thing, you know. We can be Superman up in this bitch. We can fly, like we can do all of this shit, but it's it's our limited beliefs and indoctrinations that you know, limit us. Or maybe it's just gravity. Head ass. God. Gravity. It's an interesting too. It's an interesting thing too. But yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna wrap it. Like I could continue going on and on and on, but I think I'm about to wrap up the video pretty much. Like that's it, you know. Hope you guys enjoyed, most definitely. Most definitely, you know. Hope you guys like my. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation I had technically, because I was the one talking. Whatever, whatever. But you know, like they say, I hope you guys have a good day for one. And like they say, I'm gonna stay.